And that made them happy. And I was like, okay, cool, I understand the assignment. Because that's what it is. It's a job at the end of the day. I was auditioning for it, but it's a job.
Welcome to the Hollywood Dance Experience podcast, bringing you informational insight as well as valuable knowledge, how to assist your dancers in our industry. Today I am joined by my esteemed co-host, Kristen Nurka and Julie Froman. And we have our first guest, Mr. Caley Carr. He is one of our Carr Convention faculty tap teachers. You know him, you love him, but if you don't know him, let's get to know him. Caley, how are you feeling this morning?
So good. I'm halfway into my Celsius, so we're feeling great.
Same.
After my coffee, which I made with Celsius.
Whoa.
You can see sound. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to start out with the first question for Mr. Caley Carr. Can you describe your journey from being an aspiring dancer to becoming a professional artist? And what were some key moments that helped shape your career?
Can I have that in a sentence? Wait, what was the question again?
I got you. Can you describe your journey from being an aspiring dancer to becoming a professional artist?
Perfect. Okay, so I think this is, for me personally, I was a break dancer in high school, hip hop, but I didn't do convention. I didn't grow up in the comp world. Completely different for me. So when I went to college, I had a weird bug, like, I want to try everything. So then I randomly, so weird, 18, surf bum, flipping off walls to, I'm going to take ballet, jazz, and all this. But honestly, I just love dance so much. I felt so connected to it that the ball just kind of kept going. One, I'm super ADHD, so I get super crazy and passionate about hobbies. Like, I'll just, like, dive in full force. There's no, like, half doing something. Like, I'm either way in or I don't want to deal with it. And, which isn't good as an adult. And then I was just fortunate enough that I'm so competitive that when opportunities did present themselves, I was able to walk through that door. Because I think that's really what it is. It's a little bit of luck with work ethic that was put in, right? So when opportunity did present, I was like, boom, mine, I got that, you know? And I was just blessed to have really good mentors. Linda Sol-Ellison down at Orange Coast College, she took me to her company. She trained under like Gregory Hines, Buster Brown, Foster Johnson, right? And then that was 4 years of company. I was put in a pressure cooker. You know, I had no choice but to be better real quick because she was gnarly. I love her, but she was, you know, a lot of pressure. And then Greg Russell took me on. And my first time being at a convention was teaching at convention with him, which was like a whole, like, what am I doing? I'm like, microphone, I'm like, put your right foot in, put your right, you know? But it just kept going, you know? Once again, work ethic with just a touch of luck. Yeah, it's all about connections, too, at the end of the day. Like, it's about how you treat everyone. I treat everyone because I truly believe everyone is important, but you never know who you're talking to. You know, sometimes we be on set and you don't realize the AD or the director is dressed like a homeless person, you know? And next thing you know, they're telling you what to do. And you're like, I should have been nicer to you a second ago.
You never really know who you're dancing with at the studio, whether it's your best friend or a girl that just joined your studio. They might be behind that table at the audition later in life. So just making sure that you treat everyone with respect, bringing them in, making them your family, because you never know, in 10 years, they might be that person behind the table hiring you for that job. I feel like it's really important.
Super important.
All right, question number 2 is, what was your experience on So You Think You Can Dance? Can you share any behind the scenes insights about that audition process or the show itself?
Live television is fake.
I mean,
it's so fake. It's all scripted. So, let me break down essentially how it goes. They start back east and they would move out west. LA's the last one. So by the time they get to LA, they have enough Nurkas that are blonde with blue eyes, you know? So unless you're a real firecracker, they already got it through the rest of the country. It's not about how talented you are. It's about casting for a television show. They're casting. And it's called typecasting. That's just what it is. For me, they thought, oh, you're kind of a gimmick. You have a mustache, you surf, you tap dance. What a weird human being you are. We're going to use that, you know? And that's just what it is. It's television. And at the end of the day, they also want a little bit of drama. So if you have a kind of a sob story, they can use that. You know, if you have something that's triumphant that the people can get behind, they can use that. And that's what it's about. Television, at the end of the day, these directors and artistic directors and these teams come together and they say, how can we make the person on the other side of the television feel connected to what they're watching? Right? So it's not about the most talented. It's about how do we have people be invested into what they see. So for me, being on the show, we're doing all this segment in Huntington Beach, and there's one moment we're in Redondo, and they're making me walk out of one of their producers' house. And if you know Huntington, there's no beach property. There's not a single house on the beach, but they made it look like me walking out of a producer's house. I just talked about how I work at a restaurant and I'm a striving artist to be a dancer. Meanwhile, they have me walking out of the beach house in Redondo Beach. I don't know what they're thinking, and then they're interviewing me and they're like, well, can you be like more like a surfer? So then I had to switch up my verbiage to fill their quota, right? Well, I'm gonna get gnarly, I'm gonna rip it up, and I really think you're gonna like it, all right, cool, bro, like, good, dude. And that made them happy, and I was like, okay, cool, I understand the assignment. Because that's what it is. It's a job at the end of the day. I was auditioning for it, but it's a job, and I'm trying to get booked. So I'm like, I'm Play-Doh, mold me, ready to go, yeah.
When you're doing a national television appearance, how do you prepare mentally, physically? It's not like a stage, it's very different.
Yeah. We can snowball this whole thing from like choreographing for like World of Dance or like being on the show itself. It's completely different approaches. Like performing for stage, like a concert, is completely different energy than going on television. Your energy has to be through the roof, while simultaneously you have to bring a different level of facial awareness. Also, camera training is a real thing. Like understanding how to be in the moment, killing this choreography, but also being aware of cameras that are moving. When I was choreographing for World of Dance, Napoleon was on set, part of Nappy Tabs. Napoleon was there, and he's talking about cameras. Okay, then we're going to switch to camera 2. I'm simultaneously telling the dancers, like, listen, during this section, on this 8, I need you to look here, right? And now we're going to put a layer on that. This is the attitude I want you to give to that camera during the section. So now it goes from just like dancing to like, we're doing it's a whole different world. Now, when we're performing to the fourth wall, like I am with you right now, I'm just here, right? This is it. I have the fourth wall and that's it. So I'm only going to project out to here, but television has a whole different layer. Sometimes they get really weird. They want to do shots from above. You're like, okay, now, like you'll see choreographers like, how in the world am I going to make this interesting? In no point is choreography ever meant to be seen from the ceiling, like who's watching this, so then now the choreographer is doing this whole new thing for randomly like choreographing for angels. Like, I don't know. yeah, it's a different ballpark. Understanding your audience and what the assignment is. Am I choreographing for competition dance? Am I choreographing for a concert piece? Am I doing a fundraiser where they just need like a little razzle dazzle moment? It's understanding what your client is and what the needs are, and then adapting to that. Is this for television? Is it 1 minute where I just need big movement and doesn't have to be crazy intricate footwork because they don't care about that, right? We're doing camera work. It's completely different now. Now they just want big lines because that reads best here. Compared to when I'm on a stage, I can have whole moments where it's very intricate and everything because you're stuck here watching it fourth wall. Like, it's just being able to switch mindsets, and that becomes a skill too. It becomes a craft in itself, knowing that when I hit the stage, I dance like this. When I'm on camera, I dance like this. Being able to flip-flop, kind of code change. Like, what am I doing? I still don't know what I'm doing.
Absolutely. You've successfully managed to have, like you said, a working career as a dancer, but as you moved on to that choreography, you not only choreograph for, solos, groups across the country, you're on our CAR faculty. How do you balance it all?
Yeah, for being ADHD, time management is huge. What I've learned through a lot of work, no shade therapy has helped greatly to keep me in line with myself. I think everyone should do it because it's like going to the gym. Mental health is therapy. That's what the therapist is. You go there and you work out for your brain. But they gave me so many tools to help with my ADHD. ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia. So like reading's difficult. Like I have a lot of fun learning disabilities. So for me, it's constantly writing things down, making lists. I can't do a planner here. I can't do it. It should be easy. I can't. I need the big book, a big paper one, and I gotta look at it and I gotta draw in it, right? And everyone's nodding their head because you're like, yeah, because that feels right. When this thing yells at me like, oh, you have gaga appointment, I'm like, what do I have? Like, why did that pop up? But keeping in line and understanding like task management. Like for today, I started prepping Friday because I know how long it takes me to prep. If I want 1 good minute of choreography, I know it takes 3 hours in the studio for me to have 1 minute of choreo I like that I think the kids will like. And then it's finding that happy balance. So it's understanding what's my assignment and then knowing myself, being truthful with myself. What do I need to get that assignment done? All right, well, I gotta go to the studio. Do I want to? No, but we're going. Here it is. And it's like giving myself these deadlines. The sooner you figure out what you actually need to be successful and you really apply that is the most beneficial. Like for me personally, that's just like, and I'm really hard about it. My to-do list is so ridiculous. And once again, remember I said it's very competitive. So when I write a to-do, okay, this is actually just weird. When I do a to-do list, I'm like crazy competitive with myself. I'm like, I'm gonna do that to-do list. Like, what is that? It's mental. So I get in like this fixation, like, no, I can't hang out. I got this to-do list. Like, it's like, I could have a lovely lunch, but look, I have laundry. Like, what? But I will get that to-do list done, and it's kind of like a victory dance at the end of the day if I have nothing to roll over to the next day. Yeah, you're laughing because that's mental, I know. Okay, fun.
Amazing. All right. Well, you kind of touched on it already, but are there any other big challenges that you faced during dance? And then what are also some of the best opportunities you've received through dance?
Honestly, I think the hardest thing to fully accept is rejection. And it's not just rejection, but not the amount of auditions I walked into, and I know I just smoked everyone. Like, I was a smoke show. I went off, dang near killed myself, and then no one calls me. And it's just accepting that because once again, just like TV, they're looking for a look or energy. They're trying to fill this quota that they need for X, Y, and Z. It's not about how good I danced. It has nothing to do with that. It could be like how you dressed it or the energy. Like, that's just not what we're looking for. We're looking for something more low key. I'm so far from low keys. Okay, so I'm like, okay, that's not me, and that's fine. But understanding that everything in this life isn't gonna, like, for dance isn't meant for me, and being okay with that, because once again I'm super competitive. So if you take me to an audition, I'm like, oh, look at all these people, I know all of you. I'm like, by the way, I'm about to mop you all up. Like, that's my energy, super competitive in the most friendly way, hugs, loves, yeah. But then when I don't get the call, I'm like, who got it? Yeah. You got it, Nurka? Like what is that? No,
I always looked at like YouTube after auditions when I didn't get the audition. I was like, kind of like, man, I did a really good job. And then I'd look at the video later and I'm like, oh, so they got it.
Or the Instagram post.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
and you
who
see
got
them on
that
set
job?
and you're like, yeah, I was the same way.
So I've worked through it, and now I repost my friends, which is way healthier. And I really do. I'll do. Yeah, thank you. Therapy. I love it. We're growing, people. Making things into a habit's a whole thing, right? So it took me actually time to celebrate my friends. It took practice, and I talk about this in French all the time. Like, post your friends. If they drop a video, put them to your story. It doesn't affect you at all. Me posting my friend, like, there was this one thing for a pharmaceutical. My friend Nick Drago got it. He's amazing. This little tap teacher moment on TV, national commercial. Did I want it? Yes. But I posted him. I was like, oh my God, so rad, love my friend. Yo, boom, on my story. And that feels better. It's healthier. There's no resentment. It's like, dude, celebrate him. And then I actually let the moment go. I'm not holding onto it. So it's about celebrating the people around you and understanding it's not, Nick Drago looks like a dad. Like full on has this like great dad energy in life. I'm like, okay, so obviously I'm not carrying that. Look at me. Like, what kids would I take care of? So we move on,
Things like that also elevate dance, right? Because we want to see dancers in those. We want to see dancers in national commercials. We want to see dancers being used as much as possible. So I feel like if we platform that, like, that's a tap teacher, like, promoted in a major way. So as a tap teacher, as a friend, like you want to see more of that. So the more we share Walmart commercials with other dancers, even if you're not in it, like just sharing things with other dancers that get a platform and get seen and pushing dance out there in a great way, I think helps everyone, you know?
Nailed it. There's a thing we say in the community, what's good for tap is good for tap is good for tap. Right? But this is for society as a whole. Like it's for some reason psychologically difficult for us to build up one another, right? Like it's easier for our brain to get jealous than it is to be like, yeah, awesome for you. Like why is that? Like we're hardwired as human beings. Meanwhile, if we advocate for each other, now we can start making more money. We can start taking care of each other. We can be like, no, that's not safe. Instead of some dancer being like, don't worry if I hurt myself. Like, and that happens. Like I don't mind if it's dangerous. But if we're pumping each other up, it's like, no, don't do that, honey. It's not safe, right? And then everyone takes a stand as a group. And then now no one has to do the scary toaster that's popping out of flames, which I want to do. Do you know what a toaster is? It's on my to-do list. Okay, so essentially, there'd be a hole in a stage, and then you stand there, and this platform would shoot you out, and then you... Listen out there, world. If anyone's casting a tap dancer and you need him to pop out of a toaster, okay, good. All right. Advocating for myself at this moment. Thank you.
Yes. All right. And now, can you share some of the best opportunities you've received through dance?
My mentors gave them to me, like Greg Russell. Like that gentleman literally opened a whole world for me. Linda Sol Ellison. I love her to death. She was the second mother. We used to perform at the JAT, the Japan American Theater, and she would make me food before shows. Like she was second mother. But Greg introduced me to the whole world of dance, of industry, and he took me to perform. First time I performed with him was at the Kids Artistic Review in Vegas for Dancers Against Cancer, a big event. That was like, I'm not gonna say how long ago that was, but that man really. Okay, so how I teach and how I want to be in this world of dance, like how I want to conduct myself, is because of him. That human being was selfless in the sense that he would literally, like, whatever you want to, I would call him and ask him about rates. I was like, yo, how much should I charge for this? What should I do about this? Should I negotiate this? And he would just openly tell me what he makes, what he would think, and like that kind of, just him giving me that knowledge is the most, like, I can never be more grateful. And it's so I'm a little saddened by it, just because it was I wish I would have had more time with him, because just the moments I did have with him were so like, they really shaped me, and they were just so helpful. So that's my dude. Getting to meet a bunch of choreographers and other dancers is always a blessing, but I feel like there's always you'll find someone in this world that's just gonna take you. Like we'll just be like, come on, I got you. And I think everyone in this world has that moment, right, where someone just like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna help you through whatever this is you're doing in life, and he was my guy for that. And
love that. I feel like, yeah, honestly, clap that, because I feel like Nancy's a good example, you know what I mean? And like, we have you, we have Turk, we have Ryan, we have all of these incredible people who have learned from the best, and now they're sharing all of that knowledge with your kids. And it's not something that you're gonna find easily, you know? It's not like, again, there's this weird energy where people don't want to share all those insights and don't want to share that because they think it's going to take away an opportunity for them. But really, just in that, then your friend 10 years down the road, whatever it is, if they're the one that's doing that audition, oh, I remember Caley, they hyped me up when I booked that, you know what I mean? And then they're going to want to work with you, and it's just a win-win situation for everyone.
yeah, there's no knowledge I want to take to the grave. If it's a tap step or anything, just hit me up. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to keep anything. I don't know why I would try to keep any kind of information. It sounds so silly.
Yeah. As a professional artist, what would you say, from the parents' perspective, is most important in encouraging and supporting their dancers through that difficult journey?
It's reckless abandonment. No backup plan. It's reckless abandonment. Like, if you're going to go to university, you keep your head there. You keep it in the books. You crush your university life. You get that degree and then go pursue dance. Or if you're going to go to dance, you got to give yourself time. 3 years, 4 years. because you have to meet people, you have to go to class, you have to make a rapport with people. It's not going to happen in a couple months, it's not going to happen in a year. You have to give opportunity time. Opportunity and time are same. You need both. And not having a backup plan, I say this because if you're always thinking about like I have this safety net, you're never going to be fully committed to this. And that's the hardest part, is taking that leap off that scary cliff. Like I'm fully just going to go for this right now, and I have no idea what's going to happen. But that's everything in life. Everything that's really beautiful and really shapes you is on the other side of the unknown, on that other side of fear. That's where the good stuff happens. And when you talk about industry, it's definitely on that other side. I never know what's going to happen. And I now live in a place where I thrive in not knowing. I live for not knowing, right? Because there's so much excitement. So when I get nervous about something, I now get excited because I know I'm about to learn something, or I'm about to do something awesome, or maybe both, or maybe it's going to be a hot mess and I'm still going to learn something. And that happens too. But yeah, reckless abandonment with life. Time is a commodity, and it's something you can never get back. So how you invest it in teaching your kids that where you spend that time, you need to take good care of. So when you let your child travel out to Atlanta, New York, LA, let them know this is a chapter of your life, because life's about chapters that they'll never get back. Be invested, be present, be there. Get lost in what you're doing, because that's what I feel like life is, right? Is try to get lost in the moments, because it goes by so quickly. If I could go back and train further, and once again, if I could hang out with Greg more, it's always that stuff. And kids don't really understand that. They have no grasp of, you talk to them, they're just oh, you. But yeah, reckless abandonment with what you're pursuing. Yeah, just be all in and don't care what anyone thinks. It's all noise, right? Everything is all noise. When their friends are telling them ooh, that seems a little, it's who, they're not, that's not your journey. You love dance, go dance. You want to go to school for dance, go to school for dance, right? If you want to go study engineering and then you pick up that degree and then you want to go back to dance, that's another beautiful choice. They're all correct choices, and it's different for every person, right? There's no right, there's no wrong. I went to Long Beach State, got a degree in business. What did I do with that BS? Nothing. But I did it. Am I happy? Yeah, I did that. Or I could have went to dance, and I'm sure that would have worked out well for me too right away as a younger person, making connections quicker. But it didn't matter. My journey was this journey. Everyone's journey is different, especially when you attack this, right? A place of art and industry where it's just, but I'm very grateful and happy with the journey I've had. And now I'm thinking about retirement. Well, Caley, how are we going to do this one? Now I have a whole new endeavor and mental things I need to concentrate on. The first one is how do I get into the dance world? Okay, now how am I going to retire from the dance world, right? How am I going to leave a mark? How am I going to, not even a mark, how am I going to leave this dance world better than when I showed up to it, right? And that's where I'm at now. And right now I feel like my calling is convention teaching. Right now I feel very inspired to teach on convention. And I talk about this I know I only have 1 hour with you, but I want it to be an hour you never forget. I don't want you to come to a class, I want you to come to an environment. I want you to come to an experience with me. So right now that's where my head's at. And once again, I'm just doing chapters. I was pursuing so much career work, and now I'm I just want to pour out. I was poured in, now I want to pour out. Yeah.
We're so lucky to have you on our faculty. You're always a favorite when you walk in the room. The energy just is lifted. Everyone is just so excited to see you. And again,
Celsius.
Yeah.
Are they still sponsoring us?
Different podcast.
Not Celsius. Monster. Where dirt bikes and tap dance mix.
But just thank you for your passion. I feel like it exudes out of you. It inspires us, and I think that just goes to show, and it just pours into your other kids as well. Even if they're from different studios, they are pushing each other. Getting to come to experiences like this, meeting other people, that's their inspiration that they can take back to their studio. You may be the best at your studio, but you're not at a convention, you're not at an audition, you know what I mean? And it's finding those moments and being, like you said, okay with that journey. And I hope that for every single one of your dancers, whether it's a year from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, they have that click where it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. The reason that happened makes sense. All of that led me to this moment right here. And we don't know when that's going to be. Every kid is going to have a different experience, but it's going to happen for them, for sure. If there's anything else you wanted to pour knowledge.
Can I ask that? Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you want to yell at me? Yeah, yell at me.
What was your favorite performance that you had to do?
Can I be honest? Of course.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a choice. Here we go. I did a performance with Derek Huff. I was performing with Derek Huff. We were doing a rendition of Singing in the Rain. It was George Clooney's Night Under the Stars. It's a big, outrageous fundraiser. Like, outrageous. Every A-list celebrity's here, right? I'm in the green room. I'm like, this is banana cakes. Everyone's back here right now. I met George Clooney, took a picture with George, and what's up, George? You know, even Derek ran in. Derek's like, yeah, me too. Like, it was George Clooney. This man's good looking, you know? And I remember I'm going on stage to perform, and I'm dancing, I'm doing this number, I'm like, oh, I'm killing this. And I remember looking straight down, and it was Johnny Depp, before Johnny Depp, like, fell off the wagon. So, love you, Johnny, still a huge fan, you know, I hope all the best for you, sending nothing but good vibes your way. But I looked down, and I was like, oh my God, it's Johnny Depp. And I was like, ooh, focus, look up. Like, it was the funniest hot moment in my life. Like, I've never laughed so much at myself on stage where I nearly fell out of choreography that I was stressing so heavily, you know? And I mean, like, there were so many A-lists, like Kevin Spacey's not, like, there's so many people in the green room. I'm like, just be cool, dude, be cool. Like, don't freak out. That was a cool one. Okay, can I do one more? Of course. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so I'm doing this gig. It was Postmodern Jukebox. I'm on tour, and we're in Warsaw, Poland. And I don't know why, but Poland loves Postmodern Jukebox. Does anyone know Postmodern Jukebox? Okay, there's this band. Check them out. Postmodern Jukebox. What they do is they take pop songs, like new pop songs, and they put like an old timey feel on them. They make them like from the 40s, or they make them like they like a swing track. Super fun. Right, so it was right up my alley. I was like, live my best life. Okay, Warsaw, Poland, apparently loves tap dance too. So I do this bit where I'm supposed to come out from the audience. Like it doesn't matter. I come out from the audience, and I was already dancing. Well, when I was trying to come out from the audience, they wouldn't let me. They like stopped me. Like I literally had to have. It felt so cool. I felt like a celebrity. They're like, oh my God, like this, like everyone's trying to get photos and everything, and I've never felt so cool in my life. Warsaw, Poland. Do I know what any of them were saying? Not a one. I had security come get me, and they'd like escort me to the stage, you know, and I finally get on the stage to have my moment, and like they won't be quiet. Like they're just like, I'm just the tap dancer. Like I'm a gimmick to this like postmodern jukebox band, you know, that's like with huge singers, like Haley Reinhart used to sing with them, like snaps for that girl. Crazy. But anyway, that was just one of those moments like, wow, tap dancing? Really? Like sometimes I feel like I'm like a weird ping pong player, you know? Like I'm just out here doing this like, what do you do? I'm like ping pong professionally. like yeah, aggressively ride unicycles. Like what?
Like that he just gets up, and this is how he is in class too. He just like will travel along the stage, stand on the speakers, run around the room with the kids. Like this is how he's going to be in class.
ADHD. Like, whoa. I used to go to summer camps for ADHD. My mom like, you want to go to the summer camp? It was like a low-key study group, but it was me and a bunch of other ADHD kids. I'm like, these guys are awesome. Little Tommy's awesome.
Love you. We love you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Caley Carr. It is always a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. This is fun.
And where can they find you if they want to learn more and follow you along in your career?
Oh, at Caley Carr on my Instagram. I'm dancing in Kids Artistic Review for convention. I'm teaching. I only teach once a week now, and I'm pretty much on an airplane every weekend. A lot of sky miles. We're doing great. But yeah. So I'm around. I have a schedule on my little Instagram, and like if I'm in your city, please pop through, come hang out with me. Yeah, because once again, I'm not trying to take anything in my grave. Come take all my knowledge. Yeah, if you have questions, message me. Yes, if I don't answer, message again. ADHD. Yes.
How do you spell your name?
CALEYCARR. Vroom vroom beep beep. Yeah, Caley Carr. I grew up just south of here in Huntington Beach. Yeah, I'm a big next week I'm going to Panama to surf for a week. I grew up surfing. Yeah, in Huntington and like Newport. Like I just love surfing, and like somehow I like got into tap dancing. It's so interesting, you know. People are like, you should tap dance on your surfboard. I was like, no, because I would ruin my surfboard. Why'd you bring me up here?